to hire. So human resource planning is a process by which managers make sure that they have the right number and kind of capable people in the right place at the right time. So through planning, organizations avoid sudden people shortages and surpluses. So it is done through current human resource assessment and then meeting future HR needs. So what is human resource planning? In simple words, right person for the right job, right time. And the four right is, which is nowadays very much important, that is at right pay. Right person for the right job at the right time and with the right pay. Okay, so let's talk about the first step of human resource planning, that is assessment. So current assessment include job analysis. So current assessment is done through current employee inventory. So when they ask you to submit a form or submit your CV, so they already know that how many people are from this background, college level, university level, finance level, chemistry level, and what if there is a role and who can be promoted over there or who can do this job and how many people we need to hire. So number one is job analysis and assessment that define jobs and the behavior necessary to perform them. And then the JD or job description, a written statement that describes job. The job specification, a written statement of minimum qualification a person must possess to perform a given job successfully. So in job analysis, there are two stuff you need to follow. Number one, JD, which talks about what is this job, what you are supposed to do. And in JS, what kind of person is doing this job. Is background, like in China, they'll talk about number first, your degree, and then whether you can speak Chinese or you're custom with Chinese work environment, and then they're gonna ask you your background and all that stuff. That is JS. JD means okay, you need to perform this analysis. Okay, you need to teach children. Okay, you need to work in supply chain. In supply chain, you make sure that the goods pass from this department to that department is smoothly. There is no shortages. There is no surpluses. This kind of stuff. And then the second step in HR planning, meeting future needs. So which means you need to predict as well how many people are going to be needed, which means demand for employees result from demand for the organizational product or services. So if organization is growing, so does its need for human resources. So after assessing both current capabilities and future needs, managers can estimate areas in which organization will be understaffed or overstaffed. If understaffed, they hire. If overstaffed, they rotate or they fire. So companies that do not carefully scrutinize the qualifications or background of employees surely pose risk for increased liability, poor reputation, and lower performance. And you have seen this in government department. Lack of response, too much delayed in services, poor services, this kind of stuff. So when the staff is understaffed, then we go for recruitment, which means locating, identifying, attracting capable applicants. And decruitment means reducing an organizational workforce by firing process, by giving them retirement, all right, this kind of stuff. So recruitment sources are how you advertise your job through internet, employer referrals, company websites, college recruitment board activities, professional recruitment organization, social media. Everything has its own advantages and its disadvantages. So internet, you have a mass people. If you wanna, advertise on internet, you will receive, or this ad will go to the massive people. Disadvantage is that it's going to be hard for you to point out the qualified person, because there are many even unqualified candidates. You will be receiving so many CVs. So in normal, for any role, an HR receives more than 4,000 CVs for a single role. In US, in India, it's more. In China, it is even more, depending on location as well. If Shanghai, it may be more than 5,000. So they don't want to bother to advertise job on internet. So it's better to ask employees, okay, if you know some person who can be fit for this role, because it reduces the time, right? Plus, the employer also will refer that person, because who is good, because he also want to be responsible for his own reputation as well. All right. Plus, he will refer that person who can work in this, who can fit in this organization. But the disadvantage is that, so you may be victim of not diversifying. If you ask black person, he will refer black people. If you are Hispanic, he will refer Hispanic. If you are white, he will refer white person. If you ask women, she will refer a woman. So that may pose your threat to diversity. On company website, also, if you post that, only targeted employees who are visiting of the, or who are planning to work with this organization, they found out and they apply. But again, unqualified people will apply, because most of them would be out of job or maybe looking for a job, and they would be just applying job whether they are qualified or not. They're just clicking on the apply button, and that's it. College recruiting is very good, because you just, it's like a college student is just raw material. It's open mind, so they can just easily bend according to organization. So it is good for those organizations who have centralized management. So it's easy for hiring a college student, and who can easily travel to these boundaries of centralization. And it's good to train a young mind rather than a trained mind. It's going to be hard. So the thing is that the college recruitment's only good at entry level positions, not at managerial level, top level management positions. Then you ask professional recruiting agencies. We have different kind of like Hays, right? We have LinkedIn services. You can buy that through. You can also use LinkedIn social media as well. So every source has its own advantage and also disadvantage. Professional recruitment, it's good, but they have a little commitment to specific organization. They are not working for you, they are also working for others as well. So think are that, so if they are working for Apple and you are at Microsoft, then things are that it may go public that okay, this person is working for Microsoft and Apple Corporation or Apple manager will say that, okay, I want that person, just bring that person from here. So there's a constant war between these Google, Apple, and Microsoft employees. So they want to attract their talent and retain their talent. So it's just a war between the competitive advantage through people, because the main source of income or power of these organizations is due to human brain. Social media is not nearly as effective because the older person can also apply, and unrelated person can also apply. You advertise a job for chemistry person, and finance people also applying, just just by looking the organization, and just for fun purposes they are just sending CVs. So it increases your burden. And then recruiting options, they are firing, layoff, attrition, which means not filing openings created by voluntary resignation or normal retirement. You give them a choice whether you retire according to your terms or according to our terms. After 6 months or 1 year, we are going to retire you, but then this benefit is going to be gone. You transfer them other understaffed departments. You reduce work weeks or shifts, you can say that. Give them early retirements and also job sharing. All right. Now, how you select employee. So selection decision basically depends on a matrix here. So we are deciding based on two factors: whether the employee will select or accept the offer or not, plus whether he will increase his performance, job performance or not. If he accepts our job and also his performance is successful, then it is a correct decision. And if he is accept and his job performance is unsuccessful, it means we made a mistake. If he rejects and his performance was unsuccessful, it means a correct decision. And if he rejects and we believe that he could be, successfully performing this job, it means we made an error, and that is not a good sign. You need to